What's up? Good morning, guys. How we doing? We are live, baby, and we are 8 seconds out to the close of Big Bar 7. A whole lot of nothing here thus far. ATR is about 45. You're looking at a 5-minute NQ chart. Let's see if we can put something together. Market is a bit hesitant, a bit back and forth. So be patient out there. And let's see what we can put together. Bar 8, man. What's it going to give us? Now, what I don't want to see is that. ATR is pretty damn good. I mean, 46 is all right. I just want to see a bit of a cleanup here in price action. I'm not thrilled with the open so far. I got to tell you, it's very hesitant and not very smooth as far as price action is concerned, but that can clean up very quick. So let's hope we do that. Good morning, guys. How are we? Hope we're all doing well. All right, Bar 8, taking out the high of the week high of 4. High a day there. So we'll see how Bar 8 can close up. 3.5 minutes out. Alright, range on Bar 8 here is about 50 points. I don't mind that at all. All right, so I will have to see how Bar 8 closes here. We're a minute 48 out. If it closes clean, I will be ready with a stop limit buy for those bulls. $60 seconds. Go ahead and place that stop limit buy is what I will do and wait about 15, 20 seconds. See if it'll give me a fill. No fill. Gotta pull it. Alright. Bar 9. What's up? John, what's up, brother? How we doing? Big E, good morning. Alert, Big Dog, how we doing, brother? All right. 325 out here to the close of bar 9. If we can close nice and clean, then I've got a stop limit buy. Well, one thing I do like is that we're pulling away from 25,000. I like that. I don't want to get stuck to 25K. You know how the market likes to do that. And then it kills volatility. Minute 47 out here until we get to close of bar 9 here on the 5-minute NQ chart. Again, if you're just joining us, I'm trading NASDAQ futures. See this hesitation? Come on, bulls. Give me a nice close! Alright, well, I will go ahead and get that copy trader engaged. Pop on over and see. ATR is 48. Gotta pull it. Gotta pull it. You see this? 9 closed. Ugh. In a situation like this, when it's really, really tight, here's a learning experience if you care, which you fucking should. See bar 9? See how it closed here? Let me zoom in. See how bar 9 closed like right at the wick high of bar 8? You could say, but it's a tick, or it's to the tick, or it's maybe a tick in the money. I don't have time to look at the data and say, is it a tick above? I gotta set the order. Right, I don't have time for this. So you have like a split second to set the order, and you don't know until it closes, right? So in a situation like this, I'd rather, now if we're talking 2 points inside, that's pretty obvious. But if it's like a tick, give or take, I'm gonna set the order, then check. And if I check and it's like, it's not there, meaning 9 isn't really closing outside the wick high of 8, it hesitated, which is not a coincidence, by the way. Almost never is that a coincidence, unless volatility is really, really low. Then I'll pull it. But I want to get the order out first. So, bar 10! Come on, bar 10. Do it to him. Question, if you got filled on that trade, Nico, would you have taken it or exited? I'd have left it on just because bar 9 is not like such a huge body. And, I mean, think about this, right? If I put my stop limit buy right above the wick high of 9, take 5 seconds or 3 seconds or whatever it took to check, but it pops and fills me, I mean, that's like best case scenario given the situation, right? The quicker fill I get, the better. You know, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I certainly do. When I get faster fills on stop limit entries, the probability, let me back up, because it's not a win rate game. This is a win rate, which is probability, X, reward to risk game. The edge, I will say, the expected value on the trade, tends to seem like it's a bit better, right? From the outside perspective, well, I know it's a bit better. So if it fills me within 3 seconds or 1 second on the rollover of 9 into the open of 10, and I check and I'm like, oh shit, it closed right to the tick on the wick high of 8. Yeah, but it filled me in 2 seconds. I'm not going to go out of my way to take those trades unless I'm in a situation where I need to get the order out. And then it happens to fill me. It's like, okay. But I wouldn't want to take that trade if it took 28 seconds to fill me. Because it's not really an ideal close for me, and it took forever to fill me. And it's not an A+ setup, right? So I wouldn't give it 30 seconds anyway. Or at least an A setup. All right, bar 10, what you got? $60 seconds. See how fast these 5-minute bars go by? At least sometimes. Other times it feels like an eternity between bars. But I think the 5 minutes is a good balance, man. Not too many decisions that lead to fatigue, and you'll say, well, I'm young, I don't get decision fatigue. Bullshit. Yes, you do. You just don't notice. All right, 30 seconds. Here we go. Come on, bar 10. I've got a few minis in the mix here today in some of the accounts. Let's see. Oh, beautiful. What a placement. Are you kidding me? Oh, we got What a beautiful placement. There we go. Beauty. All right. Now it's time to see if the bulls can do their job. That's about it. ATR 43. Risk on the trade less than that. All right, ATR sitting 44. Bulls. Nico, do you have any experience with Lucid? No. I don't think any. Not that I wouldn't like to. But I gotta tell you guys, when you deal with, oh, you bulls. When you deal with too many props, like trading, right? You're trading too many props, I think it becomes a pain in the ass. But, you know, I mean, it's worth it, but you got to be balancing all these accounts. So, you know, there's some management that goes into it. You got to pop around to like 4 different portals. If you're trading, you know, 16 different prop firms, it's like that's a job in and of itself to just to manage all the prop accounts. You know, but scaling horizontally is the way to go. It's just a matter of, I don't think you should go too far too quick. I've seen plenty of people make that, I don't want to call it a mistake because I fucking love the mentality of going big. But, you know, ease into new firms. I wouldn't go ahead and add 15 all at once. The main reason is you probably won't remember all the rules. But if you could get to a point where you're kind of copy trading maybe in one big group and trading small, or trading in 2 different groups, and you know the rules within that group fit all the firms that you're trading. If you're trading like 10, I think that's a good place to be. You just don't want to be accidentally breaking rules at firms and then playing the victim because you're trying to juggle too many prop firms. I say trade like 1 or 2 prop firms, start taking payouts, then, if you're up to it, start scaling horizontally to a second prop firm, and then maybe to a third prop firm. But if you're just getting started, I think my favorite combo here is, if you're just going to trade 2, is Apex and take profit. All right, bulls! I'd say it's about time to step in! Oh, you son of a gun. All right. Let that copy trader flatten. Boom, flat. And moving on. All right, we're on bar 11 here. We've got 45 seconds out. This will be the first bar in a sequence. Do we end up seeing big softball channel is now the question. That is the question. So we shall see. Does your strategy change when you need to worry about trailing stops on evals? I mean, my eval strategy changes a bit. I still take logical trades. I take more trades, which means I take the trades I would normally take. and I lower the minimum quality of what I will take, and then I trade bigger. Because my number one concern with evals is not the money spent on evals. My number one concern on evals is the time I spend trading the evals. Once you have a positive ROI in your prop trading business, you know, you got to think, like, if you could pay somebody, if you own a coffee shop, if you could pay somebody to pour black coffee all day while you do a higher ROI activity, wouldn't you do that? Now, I'm not saying pay someone to pass your evals. They don't allow that. What I am saying is, I don't think once your ROI is positive, man, if you're spending 3 weeks in an eval, that's just a bad business decision. You got to change that mindset. That's the mindset of someone who wakes up when they're, 72 and never scaled their business and they're pissed. All right, bar 12, pulling in here. Yeah, so let's see if this turns into a softball channel here. And we'll see if I can grab trade number 2. Yeah, all live streaming on YouTube at least has a small delay. That's every single live stream ever on YouTube, and there's nothing you can do to make it faster other than what I already have set. So believe it or not, some streams on YouTube will have like a 30-second delay. Mine, typically, depending where you are in the world, will have the absolute fastest humanly possible offered by YouTube, which is somewhere between 2 and 5 seconds, depending where you are in the world and if you're actually live. Make sure you haven't fallen behind. Alright, watching bar 13 here. Let's take a look at YM here. People talking about the Dow. Oops. Yeah, I mean, reasonable. I'll keep an eye on YM. Back to NQ for now. Alright, so bar 13 here is the first in the sequence. I gotta tell you guys, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned that we end up just seeing a big sideways range up here in the 25 twos. Or the high 25 ones. Man, let's hope now. Let's hope the Bulls can take this thing up through the wick high of 11. And then some, at least a bit. And expand this guy back to a bigger soft bull channel. It'll give us some things to do. All right, there's a close of 13. You see that? Inside the wick high of 11. That's some hesitation. I don't know. I mean, it's a nice sizable bull body, so let's see if 14 can get up outside that wick high of 11 and actually do so in a convincing manner. The number one concern right now is a big sideways trading range up here. Okay, we're 222 out from the close of bar 14. And a little bit eerily similar to the close of bar 10. However, to me this looks more like a bull wedge than what I would call really a soft bull channel. To me, a soft bull channel would have pulled back one more bar. At least a small to moderate bear body, which I would have bought. We never got that. Bar 12, then 13 popped. Hard. So the discretionary call here is, do I take a repeat of bar 10 on bar 14? And to me, the answer to that question is, well, how clean does bar 14 close? So we shall see. All right, minute 17 out. Oh, you bears! Stepping in, wicking us back! 20 seconds, you see this? Big sideways trading range? Maybe. Maybe. Alright, 15. Bears gonna keep it inside the wick high of 11, are they? Oh, they are. Big ugly bar 14. All right, 15. 15 will be very telling. Let's see what's in store here for bar 15. Nico, if you were trading and working at the same time, do you stop at some kind of dollar win or loss because of limited time on the charts? What I would encourage you to do, I know that this is tough for most people psychologically, but what I would encourage you to do if you do have to walk away at a certain time because of a job, mathematically, the best thing you could do is if you're like, okay, I can trade from market open until 11:30 Eastern. So you have 2 hours to trade. What I would do in that case is I would say, okay, I'm going to sit and I'm going to take every setup that presents itself before like 11:15. Because, if you absolutely have to be out of there at 11:30, you want to give that last trade time. So if the bar that rolls over at 11:15 doesn't give you a setup, that's it. You walk, you shut it down. But sometimes you'll get a trade at 11:10 or 11:15 and you'll leave it on until 11:30-ish, on average. Sometimes it'll go over, you'll have to figure out a way to manage those. The problem is, everybody likes to do this feel-good shit while trading. You know what feels really good is providing for your family relatively consistently and making a lot of money for them. That feels really good, okay? So if you want to be that dude who comes in and takes one trade a day, you're like, one trade a day keeps the job away. Yeah, that's great. What happens when you lose 5 trades in a row and you have 0 winning days all week and now you hate yourself? Yeah, you got to get the sample size up. If the market only gives you 1 trade a day, that's a different story. But if you take 1 trade and you're like, great, I get to go back to bed. Come on, dude. There might be 10 more trades that day that you leave on the table because you're scared to give it back. What is the game of day trading? What even is the business? You get a statistical edge, and then what do? If you don't know the answer to this, you're not going to make it in this business. I promise. I'm not just saying that because, you have to earn your stripes. I don't give a shit. I'm saying this because I want you to win. If you don't, A, get an edge, and then B, what? Get the sample size up. News. Big dog in the chat knows the answer, is the only one in the whole chat that knows the answer. If you don't get an edge and then get your sample size up, this isn't going to work. There's a reason the casino has built in the edge into all the games. And then what is their job? What's the casino's job? If you own a casino, what's your goal every day? You say make money. No shit. What's your goal every day to do that? Get as many dollars being bet in your casino every hour as humanly possible. Right? Which means you run promos, you run events, you do fun things. You hire personable dealers. Yes, you do all those things to get the sample size up. As traders, we run the same business model as the casino runs against the player. If you don't understand that, I can't help you. And most people, they do know that. They just don't want to understand that because they like being the player. Because it's more fun. Okay, well then keep losing. All right, minute 10 out here. Let's see what bar 15 gives us. Yeah, I got to see a nice clean close here, at least above the wick high of 14. And it better be clean. It better be clean. ATR sitting at 45, by the way. Gotta get that trade count updated. There we go. All right, 14. 15, sorry, what's up? Nothing. Nothing! Alright. Bar 16, see what it brings. Question, would you recommend trading Asia session if you have time? If you want to trade Asia, and the ATR is like, and the volatility is good enough where you know that you have positive expected value, then yeah. If I sat down at Asia and it was the ATR on an NQ 5-minute chart was 3, I'm turning everything off and leaving. I'm not going to sit there and spend time at the chart. That's not the best use of my time. You know, believe it or not, some of you guys coming into the more, you know, let's paint with a broader brush, because it really is the more entrepreneurial space. You are that. You're starting your prop trading business, like it or not, dude. You own a business now. You have expenses, you have revenue, etc., right? You gotta show up every day and put in the work. Believe it or not, there are uses of your time that don't directly generate money that are a higher ROI activity for you than sometimes doing the thing that could directly generate revenue. How is that possible? Well, if you're like, okay, for my mental health, I have to every day get up, I have to work, I have to spend some time with my family, I have to go train, I have to do this, I have to make sure I'm eating what I need to eat, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if you spend your whole night trading Asia in a negative expected value environment when the ATR is 3, meaning volatility sucks and it's super low, wouldn't you be better off doing one of the other things that keeps you sharp for New York the next day? Almost certainly yes. All right, bar 16, 0. 0 confidence, you're out of the bulls. They try to take out the wick high of 14, they fade it right back. Alright, let's see what they got. Yeah, sleep, man. A lot of traders. They ignore that one. You know, I'll tell you something. I can probably predict your future here as a trader. Ready? Some of your worst slip-up days, some of your biggest red days, where you look back and you're like, wow, that was bad, that was really stupid, who even am I who just did that? I can predict your future, ready? You're gonna have some of those days, and when they come, probably. Punch that with a limit. And when they come, ATR 40, by the way, those are probably going to be days where, A, emotionally, you're not really all there. Usually it's days where people are a little emotionally charged. That could mean good or bad, by the way. That could mean it's your birthday and there's extra pressure to be green. Try to get over that as early in your career as possible. That could mean it's the anniversary of somebody in your family passing, or you recently lost a pet or something, right? Or, on the other side, it's going to be a day where you slept like shit the night before. Usually these big, massive, mess up, blow up days where you look back and you're like, wow, that was really stupid. That was really dumb. It's usually not days where you're really level-headed, you slept great the night before. Usually it's not those days. Okay, and I've seen this with too many traders now, I know better. So understand that and, work that in. If you slept terribly, size down a little bit. You don't want to size up on a day where you got 2 hours of sleep. Maybe with 2 hours you shouldn't even be trading. See if the Bulls can get their job done here, man. ATR 41. In the chat, they say, on Friday, I got 4 hours of sleep, broke my rules, sized up, and lost all the gains I made. The whole week. Oh, man. Well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that. Second of all, predictable. Predictable. Honestly, I wouldn't even necessarily say it's, I mean, it is. Accountability is everything. It is your fault. But I wouldn't even necessarily say the trading performance was your fault. I would say the ignorance of or the ignoring the need for sleep was your fault. And you'll say, well, I was really busy. I don't know, man. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say, man? You got to get to sleep. If you want to perform at a high level, you have to get good sleep at least most of the time. At least try to, right? And you won't always. So if you didn't sleep well, maybe size down a little bit. You definitely don't want to size up on a night when you get 3-4 hours of sleep. You lose 2 trades in a row, man. You'll feel okay. You'll have some coffee in you. You'll feel fine. But you might not make the same decisions. You might be a little more emotionally charged than you otherwise would be. And you start doing dumb things and you don't even really realize it until it's too late. All right, ATR 42 here. See if we can get that. There's a close of 17 into the open of 18. Reward to risk here. Better than 1-1. Man, bulls. Slow bulls. ATR dipping beneath 40, actually. Sitting at 39. 39's fine. I just don't want to see that get too low today. There you go, bulls. A lot more work to do here, though. Alright, ATR is 40. Target here is a full ATR. Three minutes, 12 seconds out from the close here of bar 18. Okay, good work, bulls. ATR 41. Not quite. Damn close. The bulls can take one more run at it here. Minute 35 out from the close of bar 18. ATR still 41. Come on, bulls. Put it together. Put it together. "45 seconds out. Bulls are hesitating, man. 20 seconds out. I gotta keep an eye on this bar, by the way. If it closes up as a secondary signal body, I'll have to move my stop. Looking back as it currently is, it is not. We'll see if it corrects last second. No. Very large wick. ATR now sitting 39-ish. Oh, these bulls are hesitating up top. Need one more push, just barely. I've gotten damn close to my target a few times here. HR still 39. Oh, you bulls, come on now. Let's take one more run here. ATR holding on to 39. We got a minute 15 till we close of bar 19. Got my hand on the fucking hotkey for 20 minutes here. Starting to cramp up. Man, the physical hazards of being a trader, you know? Get some trader injuries. That's how you know you're leveling up. ATR is still 39. Come on, bulls. Give me a push. All right, there's the open to bar 20. Jesus, ATR is down to about 36. See if I can push at least to that current ATR, which is about where I've been topping out. I don't want to see that ATR dip too much more. 36 is still reasonable. They're trying to pull us in. Man, don't you hate slow markets? Biggest pet peeve. ATR 37, if this keeps up, man, not for long. ATR 37 here still. Is he open a bar 21? ATR 35 now. ATR really starting to suck down. So we're going to get my full ATR, which is the current ATR. There we go. A little bit better. Little better than a full ATR. Let that copier flatten. And I am out. Alright. ATR is coming down quick. I really hope this market doesn't slow down too much. Let's hope not. Alright, bar 21. Let's see what you got. Alright, worst case scenario up top here is that we enter a single bar sideways range. These little bars are trying to kill off our ATR. ATR is down to 36. Now, I don't want to complain too much because 36 is still, you know, it's not 6. But we'll see what we end up with here. Hopefully we can expand that a bit more. Alright guys, in the meantime, quick break. Don't you go anywhere, back in a few minutes. What's up? Welcome back. All right. Big bar 23. We need a savior bar here. A bar that's going to come in and say, what is this volatility? And crank this thing through the roof. I want that ATR to say 83, man. What's 33? We're used to 70s by now. Man. Well, let's take a look at the Dow. Yeah, I mean, I'll keep an eye. I don't know. I don't like this wick up here too much, honestly, but I'll keep an eye on YM. Bar 23 here on YM. Close it up here in 35 seconds. So, you know, I'm curious, all you guys in the chat, Apex recently, they paused trading, a temporary volatility halt on the metals. I think the one that people are the most annoyed by is gold, right? GC. Has this pause been a negative to you, meaning were you saucing it up on gold, or have you actually been blowing less accounts? Yeah, well, YM, first close of a potential bull sequence, so I'll head back to NQ here. Inside close on NQ, still, what did I say like 10 minutes ago? Biggest concern is going to be this. Let's break out of this thing. We got to break out of this. Yeah, so, I mean, during the overnight session, in my head, it's like if you're going to trade the overnight session, let's say, okay, let me put it this way. If you trade, let's say, 90% NQ and like 10% gold during the New York session, during the overnight session, that might be like 50-50. Because, I mean, you know, NQ certainly has an overnight session, but if you think about it like gold, though, you know, New York is maybe the most volatile time on average, like gold is kind of a worldwide commodity. Like we don't really have an overnight session as much. We have a US overnight session, but, you know, it's pretty heavily traded overseas. So gold can be tremendous overnight. So those you guys who are, you pajama traders, it's kind of a hit, honestly, for you guys, not being able to trade metals. I don't like it either. I wish we could still trade whatever we wanted, but, you know, at least they're not taking NQ away from us. That might be an issue, though we would just switch to something else. Big deal. All right, bar 24. We're about halfway through bar 24, trying to make a push higher. Let's see if the bulls can maintain this at all. Okay, so, a very short-lived kind of single bar trading range. We have bar 24. So you could call this the early trade, though I don't mind the way it looks because 23 and 24 together are so clean. And volatility is pretty low. I'm going to slap this if I can. Slap him a second early. Beautiful rollover! And if the bulls can take it up through, I would like to participate. Put me in the game, man. Give that 25 seconds, see if I can get a fill out of it. 10 seconds. They don't want it. No fill, no trade. Gotta pull it. Matt, if the bulls don't want it, I don't want the bulls. Alright, we're minute 37 here from the close of bar 25. And the bulls are hesitating. ATR down to 31, man. It's falling off a cliff and fast. Alright, here comes the rollover of 25. Yeah, nothing on 25 for me, so let's watch 26. ATR down in the 20s, man, dipping so fast. Yet ATR, that's the average range of a 5-minute bar here on NQ. Based on the last 10 bars, and that's in, in points. So we are down from the low 50s-ish to 28 in about 1 hour. Ooh. We don't love that. We definitely don't love that. So, especially now that the metal trading is halted on Apex, are all of you trading NQ? I'm curious if anybody out there is trading anything kind of obscure. I mean, I would imagine almost all of you are on NQ, and then we have a few ES traders and a few Dow traders, YM. You guys know I like to trade soybeans and feeder cattle. Oh yeah, lean hogs are real. That is not a joke. You can trade some lean hogs. Okay, so we're a minute 57 out here. Okay, this is one of those scenarios you can draw two ways. You can draw a very ugly, damn near vertical bull wedge. or you can draw an attempted break out of a sideways range. And when that is the case, I prefer to just have one look, and it's going to be that one. So if the bulls can bounce this early, take it higher above the wick high at 25, all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm convinced on the bull wedge. Let's see what we can get. But probability-wise right now says that it's more likely to just pull back into that sideways range and hang out for a second. So we'll see. So right now, you know, you guys know my favorite mix. And I hope you know the reasons by now of firms. I like Apex mixed with Take Profit Trader. There's a lot of good firms out there. But, you know, the goal here is to get as many people quitting their jobs or at least going full time, whatever that might mean. You know, whether they got laid off and need to do something or they just want to quit, as possible. So what I would say is, in order, what I would do if I was starting from zero and I had to make something work, I would start with Apex. Okay, and if I'm starting from zero, I probably wouldn't have an edge, right? I would buy one, like 50K funded on sale. Right now it's 80% off, which is pretty good. I would buy one, and I would spend as much time as necessary with that tiny amount of dollar amount risk and develop my edge and figure out, okay, get myself to a point where I have positive expected value. Then it's time to make money. You're not going to make money in that stage. Then it's time to make money. Then I would go to Take Profit Trader, try to get 5 fundeds, and start taking as many daily payouts as I can to get money in the bank. Then I would go back to Apex, try to load up as many fundeds as possible, and try to get bigger payouts to make the numbers look bigger. Okay, then from there, you can expand if you'd like. But that, I think, is a tremendously effective plan for the first however long to get you full time. So it's a great mix. There's a lot of good firms out there, but that's what I would do. I'm on 27. Oh, ATR down to 28. How do you copy trade max? I'm sorry, how do you copy trade multiple Apex accounts? I use the Affordable Indicators copy trader. And you can do, and that's with Ninja Trader, right? What you're seeing here is Ninja Trader, which is what I like to use. And it's basically a Ninja Trader plugin. The copy trader is. You can do one rhythmic connection and then as many trade evade connections as you'd like. Then you just plug in, like if you use rhythmic with Apex, you plug that in. And then if you use trade evade with Take Profit Trader, for example, you plug that in. If you also have some trade evade accounts at Apex, you plug that in as well. And then you can just copy trade them all right in Ninja. And you can copy trade a personal account along with it if you want. Just understand the risks with using a copy trader if you're going to have a personal account mixed in. You got to know those risks because they're not 100% glitch free. And order types. I use executions mode. Orders mode is all limit orders, which is great, but it's a headache when you start using multiple accounts because you get partial fills. All right. Well, should we check out the Dow? It's probably just as bad as far as volatility. ATR over on YM, which is Dow, is 39, which is low. Holy shit. ATR on NQ is down to 26. It's tanking. It's off a cliff. Look at these bars. These vertical, like, orangey yellow bars, that's the range of each individual bar, and the red line is the average. See, all these are dragging the average off a cliff. Look at this. Look at this. Ever since bar 13, oh man, it's dwindling. Doesn't mean we can't hit it, but it does make our job a little tougher. But 27 is still reasonable. If that dips beneath 20, you know, if it dips beneath 10, it's time to walk away, at least in my head. Beneath 20, it makes my job quite a bit tougher. But even 27's getting down there a little bit, but I can deal with 27. So we're 4 minutes out here from the close of bar 28. Let's see. All right, 28. I don't mind that too much. Question, how many accounts should we aim to have to quit our jobs? I mean, come on, man. I don't know. How much money do you make? don't tell me, because I don't care, to be honest with you. I'm not interested in pocket watching, but if you make $800,000 a year, the answer is going to be pretty damn different than if somebody makes, you know, if they're like, if I could make $22,000 a year, which, I mean, I don't know who would say this, but if you're like, man, if I could make $30,000 a year, I could actually quit my job. That's going to be very different. You want to have a few consistent months where you're comfortable. The worst thing you can do for your trading is be stressed out, right? So you want to be pretty over that income level at your job for at least a few months consistently. I mean, look, guys, a lot of people would tell you you better have 4 years straight of consistency before you quit your job. As if jobs aren't fucking everywhere. I get it. You're like, yeah, but I applied 100 places, didn't get a call back. Somebody will hire you. I mean, come on, guys. If you're half reasonably skilled, if you quit and, oh my God, it didn't work, you go get another job. This isn't like an end-all, be-all thing. You should expect it to be. You shouldn't expect to have to go back, but like, what are we scared of when we do these things? You're scared of worst-case scenario. Okay, so if you're like, okay, I've had 4 months of consistency. I've seen multiple market environments. I'm well above the threshold of where I'm comfortable. I'm making quite a bit more money from my trading than I am my job. Should I keep going to work, or should I put all that energy and mental capital into my new work, which is trading, spending time with my family, doing what you want to do? Maybe I'm wired differently, but like, I would have quit 2 months ago. You know what I mean? Like, if you're 4 months in with that consistent, now, if it's inconsistent and you had one good week that made up the entire 2 months, you got to consider that. But, like, take a risk, dude. To me, the biggest risk is staying at that job for the next 40 years. Not financial advice. Do whatever you want, man. All right, so let's take a peek here. At bar 28, we got the rollover coming. Give that about 20 seconds, see if it can give me a fill. No fill, no trade. Moving on. Trading Chris. I followed your how to make the first 10K in trading to a T last year. Started mechanical. Got used to executing, implemented discretionary. Now on to trade 98 with positive expected value. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. The least clickbait video imaginable. How to make your first 10,000. I literally lay out the math. Because the math is what makes you money. It's probably not what you expect, just from the title. Love to see it, man. All right, bar 29. Let's see. All right, 255 out. Let's see if 29 gives me something to work with here. Mitchell, thanks, Nico. The more I watch you trade every day, I understand RAM more, and I am doing better in my trades. Good work. It's amazing what happens when you start being patient, disciplined, and logical, isn't it? All right. 212 out here from the close of bar 29. Let's see. Minute 20 out. Beautiful. Come on, you bulls. Hold that guy right there. Alright. 25 seconds out. Copy trader engaged. And let's see. Let's see if the bulls can hold up nice and clean. ATR 27. See if I can put this on, and then I'll see what the R on the trade is, and then I will decide on profit target. Place him. Yeah, I'll leave him out. Give him 15 seconds only, just because that's a pretty sizable wick on 29. It's a 15-second setup only. 5 seconds. No fill, no trade, gotta pull it. Next bar here. But like we talked about on that first trade, or I guess the second, was it the second attempt or was the first? I don't remember. The trade earlier in the stream. I put the order out, then I check. Okay, how do we close in relation to 28? And then, you know, okay, it's fine. Yeah, but it's wiki. I'll give it my minimum, 15 seconds. All right. Bar 30. Let's see if bar 30 can get it done for us here. If you haven't yet, man, hey, hit like on the stream. I appreciate you doing so. All right, 225 out. To the close here at bar number 30. Let's see if 30 is the golden child. Got to see a nice clean close well above the wick high of 29 ideally. If it closes just barely above the wick high of 29, that'd be a very, very small bar. ATR is dipping hard down to 25 now. Let's see if we can bottom out here in the mid-20s. Yeah, you know it's kind of a slow day when you zoom in a little bit and the candles flatten out like this. Ugh. That's alright. That's alright. Let's see what 30 brings. Minute 5 out. Alright, bar 30 here rolling over. Oh man, damn near a doji. Very, very small bare body. Alright guys, I'll tell you what, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go hit lunch. We'll come back, or I guess I will come back and see what the afternoon brings, but as far as the stream, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning. Right now, my best use of time is to go hit that, come back. Hopefully that ATR, man, when I come back in about 35 minutes is gonna be 65. At least above 30 would be cool. Alright, guys. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hope you guys have a good afternoon. Stay patient, man. Let it come to you, for real. On a day like today, please do not force anything. Please do not force anything. The small amount of money you might get lucky and pull out is not worth the frustrating blow-up that could happen when the probability right now is basically 50-50. Okay, this is a trap. Bar 30, this, the way it currently stands, that's a trap. There is no edge there, at least basically for any human trader. You gotta wait for something. Okay, most of that volume is gonna be algos. Okay, once you start seeing more of a soft bull or bear channel, more of a trend, anything to work with that's not, you know, a single bar sideways trading range. I mean, look at that when I zoom out, right? It's kind of like 19, 20, you know, and then 21, 22, 23. You can really look at that and tell me the probability is good. And you could say, yeah, but I could trade the range. If it's a big sideways single bar trade range, I could just trade the range. Yes, that's logical. My next question is, but how are you going to manage risk? That's the problem. I would love to trade single bar sideways ranges. Okay, you just trade the outskirts of the range, right? Yeah, logical. Oh, wait, I can't manage risk effectively. Right, it's you'll win 8 in a row and then blow it all up on 1 or 2 losers. It doesn't, the math still doesn't really work, even though it looks kind of logical. That has been my experience trying to make that work for a long time. I tried to make those sideways ranges work. I couldn't make the math look good. Okay, the answer in those, at least for me and for most people, is going to be patience. Not like there's not enough trades when, you know, when that's not a thing. All right, guys, all that to say, chill out. Wait for the afternoon to see what it brings, man. Let's hope ATR pops up. See you in the morning.